What up, y'all? It's your man Abuamerican. I'm back. Isn't that something? I wanted to talk about a situation that I helped a guy with. This is a real world situation. It's a colleague I worked together with, and he's a young guy. Very, very studious, brainiac, nerdy type of guy. Not a dork, but just he's focused. Let's call it that, and that's not a bad thing. He's focusing on university and work and everything. He's very smart, and so women have not been his primary focus at all. And so he finally meets a girl, and I trust him. He's in university in Germany. He says she's very beautiful. I actually met her at a company function, and she actually is. And he's having all sorts of problems. He's quite happy with her in terms of her beauty, and in terms of like general femininity and whatnot, but he's having a lot of problems, which we fixed actually. This is the tail end of the situation after everything has been repaired. And so what happens is he's like, she's driving me crazy. She's doing this, she's doing that, she's saying this, she's saying that, she's left, right, whatever else, back and forth. And I put him onto my video, is she your girl? And if you haven't seen that video, you can look it up. It's a very, very old video. It's got to be coming up to like almost 10 years old video now. And there basically I laid down the framework or concept that your girl is not really your girl if she's not doing things the way you want to do it. She might be daddy's girl. She might be her ex's girl. She might be just doing her own girl power thing, but she's not your girl. Your girl does things the way you want her to do it, okay? She's just not doing whatever she wants. It's not to say that she doesn't have her own independent personality. She's not her own person. We're not saying, we have automatons and whatnot, and robot women here. Although, hey, if that's what you want and you can get it, then hey, you knock yourself out. But define for yourself my girl. And in your head you have some ideas and expectations, and you have some principles that she would follow, an idea of what and who she is and how she behaves. And if she's not meeting those expectations, is she really your girl? Most likely not. This can be argued, and I admit that this could be an arguable point, but this is my position, and I stand by it, because a lot of problems that I see that guys have, it comes from their girl not being their girl, but they have the expectations of his ideal in his head for the woman that he's living with. So anyway, let's get back on track here with the situation with the guy. But that was an important point. So some of it has to do with money, some of it has to do with like the way she dresses, some of it has to do with like certain behaviors and statements and mannerisms in the house, because they're living together. And after he watched the video, he said, dude, he's like, yeah, this ain't my girl. He's like, I want her to be my girl, but she's not my girl. She doesn't do anything the way I want her to. And I said, okay, so when did you actually tell her, what your expectations are? And he's like, well, I haven't. I said, so you're expecting her to do the woman thing, which is to read your mind. I was like, women always say they want good communicators. I said, and they're terrible communicators. I said, men are generally good communicators, but we don't communicate to our women what we want for whatever reason. I don't know why men do this to themselves, and there's a lot of problems that men have. And I'm not saying that you got to be touchy-feely communicating here. That's not what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is like, you have expectations and she needs to know them. You're setting her up to fail. Remember, you want your relationship to succeed. We're going to use some online success talk here. You need to set her up to succeed. It sounds terrible saying this stuff. I don't know how people make videos like that, but you do. You need to set her up to succeed, and you have a certain expectation of behavior, and so you need to communicate this to her. And I told him that. I said, hey, look, she doesn't know. She's just doing whatever, man. She's just being a happy-go-lucky, goofy girl, and it's driving you nuts, and she doesn't know it. I said, start here. I said, so here's the game plan. And I gave him a game plan. I said, go do this, and check her response and get back to me. I said, if she responds negatively and she becomes defensive or argumentative or whatever else, I said, then she knows what she's doing and she's taking offense to you actually like saying that you need to like behave a different way if we're going to function in a relationship. I said, but if she acts surprised, she doesn't know she's driving you crazy. Turns out she was just surprised. She's just hot girl, and she's like, you know, she's used to being hot girl, but she knows she scored with this guy, despite him being a geeky type of guy. This guy's in a good career. He's in a good company. You know, he's got a good future. He's like a working student, so he is, you know, in a career at the same time. He's set. His life is on track. If he doesn't do anything goofy, this dude's on track to be just the man. Okay, and she knows it. It's visible to anybody, myself included. You know, but whatever. So she's like, oh, well, I didn't know. Why didn't you say something? And he's like, well, I'm saying something now. So step by step, he just started going down the process of this. Because I told him, like, you know, okay, you've got some success. You're happy now. And he was happy. He's like, yo, this is amazing, dude. She's like, she's blah, blah, blah. And she's doing this, that, and the other. I said, dude, you want her to tie your shoes? And he was like, what? She ties the shoes now. So anyway, I said, you know, don't go all in right now. It's like, because now you're going to seem like you're crazy. You know, you got her to do one thing, and now you come with like 100 things. She's going to be like, yo, this dude just got me jumping through, you know, flaming hoops and gasoline underwear here. You're going to look crazy, and she's going to feel crazy because now you got her jumping through flaming hoops and gasoline underwear. So I was like, step by step, little by little, I said, you start making these transitions. I said, but already make sure that, you know, there's an understanding that you have expectations, and maybe you haven't communicated them clearly. And you could do this, you know. It's like, oh, well, you know, I would like it if you do something like this. This is not a clear command, you know. It sets the expectation. And I said, and if she's that girl, which she turned out to be, she's that girl for him, you know, she's really into him. She'll start looking on her own when she understands, like, oh, he wants things a certain way. She's going to start looking for it. And he was like, dang, dude, she's like really changed. She's like, she really started paying attention with her else. It's like, yeah, because she's not being like hot girl, you know, goofy girl summer stuff now. She's actually focusing on being the woman that you want her to be. Before, she thought she was that girl. Before, because she's a hot girl, that's all it took to keep a man, was to be a hot girl. But she actually couldn't keep a man, because most hot girls, they can attract men, but they can't keep them. So now she's like she's doing the work, she's putting in the work to keep the man. He's doing his part. So now she's doing her part. Guys, you know, a lot of times the problems that we have, they're of our own making. And this problem was a problem of his own making. The beauty was he was actually ready to accept, because he was ready. He was breakup ready. And when he came and talked to me, he was breakup ready. And I was like, do you need to break up? And so now there's no talk of this. Now it's like they're a happy-go-lucky couple. They're very, very happy. He's very happy. He's got no complaints anymore. Coming back to what I was saying, a lot of the problems that we have with our people are of our own making. You know, and what happens is we get into this relationship with women, we go on cruise control, we get relaxed, and you stop doing the work. And part of the work is setting expectations, boundaries, you know, and then the work you have to do on your own also. You know, it's not just on yourself, it's on the relationship itself. And it's not like that fruity dude, you know, oh, relationships are hard work. It's not hard work, but there is work involved. It's not just, you know, living with another sovereign individual with their own ideas and concepts, and then, you know, everything works out fine. It's not always working out. It doesn't always work out like that. So, you know, you gotta put in the work in order to make it work. And sometimes I guess sometimes it's not clear. I mean, who explains this stuff? So I can't really blame him. I can't say maybe it's of his own making. Who actually took the time to explain this to him? I'm pretty sure his father didn't. His father didn't have to. His father comes from a different generation. But nevertheless, 100% ownership on this type of stuff, guys. You know, really analyze your relationship and how your woman's acting. If she's acting out of pocket, then you need to establish two things. First off, is she doing it on purpose? Well, actually, that's just one thing. You need to establish that first, but that's done two ways in terms of like her response. Her response is one of two. I'm sounding crazy here because I'm driving and I'm like focusing on the road while trying to do this. You need to put her up to a test, and that's not a problem to test your partner, you know. Now, before I close off this video, where did I get this idea? I don't know what's going on here. where did I get this idea and this concept? This comes from women themselves, actually. You know, a lot of the stuff that I've learned about relationships comes from women themselves. Women are very good at setting expectations. Well, my husband's gonna do this, and he's gonna do that, and he's gonna pay me this matter, and I'm not washing dishes. Women have all these expectations and demands. Yet, and still, men tend to not have all these expectations and demands. Well, why not? Women understand expectations, delusional ones at that. They understand them very well because they set them all the time. Well, why don't you set them? When I started thinking like that, things started working out for me much better. Because a lot of times when you mirror a woman's behaviors, and I'm not saying we're acting feminine here, that's not what we're doing. We do it within a masculine frame. But when I set my expectations, women understand that because why? Well, because they're really good at setting expectations, especially unreasonable ones, delusional ones at times. My husband's gonna pay me $200,000 maher plus an apartment and a new car and a world vacation trip for our honeymoon. And my husband's not gonna be over 22. It's just, she wants a crypto bro or something. Women are good at setting crazy expectations. So when you have expectations of them, it's not something complicated for them to comprehend, because that's the framework of their mind already. That's how they operate. So now it's a matter of establishing as to whether or not she holds you in regard. I think the British would say, if she rates you enough to actually say, hey, you know what? Let me be that girl. This is my man. I want to be that girl for him. Really pay attention to women. They can, believe it or not, they can teach you stuff. They're bad teachers, but they're good teachers. They can't teach you directly. Don't take relationship advice from women. But if you pay attention to them and how they behave in relationships, man, they're a treasure trove of knowledge, in terms of what you can do and how you can execute and make things better for yourself when it comes down to living with women. All right, guys, I'm just ranting and raving now. I'm out.
Calling down a walker. Democracy! Heavy, east, 100 meters. How'd you like the taste of freedom? How about a nice cup of liberty? Enemy elite, southeast.